Chuck got him a motorcycle. Welcome back. Welcome back to Big Motors Small Blade. I'm Seth. We got Chuck back for the first time in like a month because it's the month of May is very busy. I am wearing the same outfit I did yesterday, but it's only like 20 minutes later. So sorry, not sorry.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. I was really confused. Seth and I are matching little
We are.
500 shirts.
We
Since
are.
the
We
last
did.
time, since the last time you guys saw us, we went on a couple adventures that included the Indy 500 and the better race of the weekend, the Little 500.
It really was.
Short tracks, baby. Short tracks.
Yeah. Even though it'll be $1 late and a day short, we'll be. I would love to do a video on the Little 500 at some point here in the next little bit. I don't know if we'll find time to do that, but if we can, we will. If we can't, oh well. Unfortunately,
go check it out for yourself, though.
Definitely go check out the Little 500 if you're in town for the Indy 500. If you're not interested in the Indy 500 and you're in the area, just go. It's fucking awesome. Sorry,
so
I'm not supposed to say that on the show, but whatever.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't want
to. So I'll tell you like this. I went to the state of Indiana Memorial Day weekend for the Indy 500. I will be back in the state of Indiana on Memorial Day weekend very soon for the Little 500. I went to see Indy and I fell in love with Anderson. That's what happened. Fantastic race, 10 out of 10. Honestly, that was probably the most pure form of racing I've seen in a long time. But again, I don't want to ruin everything if we're going to do a video on it. So
yeah, we'll save all that one for when we do a video on it. I guess we have to now. We've sat here and talked about it enough in a totally unrelated video. But yes, the Cars Tour was in Langley this weekend, and unfortunately, I do want to briefly touch on the two races we missed. Very briefly. I know it's old news at this point, but like I said, the month of May is busy, and finding time where we could record episodes for these was just not very feasible. Yeah, impossible, not feasible. So Ace, it was a hurry up affair in Ace. We moved the late model stock race to the forefront. I think it started at like 6, and we got all of it in barely. And then we got just enough a window to run half of the pro late model race. So I call it the perfect Cars Tour weekend. I only had to watch half a pro race, and I got the whole stock race in and got out of there, got home by, well, I was only 25 minutes away, but I got in at like 11, 12, and we stopped to eat for 2 hours. So I would call it the perfect Cars Tour weekend for me.
Some highlights real quick there. A lot of cars wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Hall wrecked like 3 times. None of them of his doing.
One spectacularly.
He jumped a car. That was cool. And Landon Lewis won, and Seth went home with mini Tyrell's nose. And by nose, I mean the entire nose of his race car.
We had to shove it in Chuck's car, and then I had to catch a ride home from Michael Massey. So shout out to Michael Massey for driving me home. It's
like 20 minutes the opposite direction too.
It was. So you're a real one for that. But yeah, so I just have this mini Tyrell. If I remember, I'll throw a picture of it in Chuck's car up with me posing next to it. That was fun. It's just sitting in my laundry room right now. It's going to make its way to here in this room at some point. But I need to do some rearranging first.
It should become like the mantle in front of your TV in your living room.
I'll have to see if that'll work. That's actually not a bad idea. But yeah, then the
North Wilkesboro
happened, and it was broadcast nationally on Fox Sports 1, and Chuck was there. I actually got to watch the Fox Sports 1 broadcast, and I'll just speak on that one first. It was really cool seeing this series on that big of a scale. Eric Brennan, the play-by-play commentator, did a fantastic job. Obviously, Kevin Harvick and Dale Jr. were also in the booth. They did a good job. It's kind of like the first time I felt like I really enjoyed Kevin Harvick's commentary. That's not really me dogging on Kevin. That's me dogging on the Fox Sports NASCAR broadcast. But I thought the three of them did good. Obviously, like I said, Eric does a really good job. I think he has a big future in this series, or not this series. I think he has a big future past this series. I'll be honest. He does a great job.
He should be calling truck races next year.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yes, 100%, 100%. But yeah, it was kind of a mess, but not as big of a mess as it could have been, and it has been at a couple of these North Wilkesboro races. It was stressful. Fox did kind of throw them about like a 15-minute bone there. There was already like a 10-minute wiggle room. They went like 10 minutes past that. They did throw them a bone there, and I was happy to get to see the whole thing on Fox Sports 1. I would have pulled up Flow if I had to, but really glad that they got it done. And I mean, I wish they could do it again at a race that wasn't Wilkesboro.
Was better.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the infrastructure is probably not good enough to do it anywhere else.
I don't know. I think there's a couple places you could. I guess we're talking about this, and we can condense the Langley Parks. We really need to talk about this. For starters, Wilkesboro was the perfect place to try it because of NASCAR being there. It doesn't really cost Fox any. I mean, it does. Okay, I know it costs something to like produce a race. I'm not trying to say that, but they're already there, and they were already set up for NASCAR on Friday. Yeah. So they didn't have to do any extra work besides producing the race itself. Wilkesboro is the nicest facility in the tour. I don't think that's really an argument or I can't even think of the word that I'm saying, but that's not even a discussion.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it also happens to be for racing the worst track on the tour. And it's nothing against Wilkesboro. They're just so damn fast. I probably am not supposed to say that word either. Oh, well.
Whoops.
As this place starts to age, it'll be fantastic with late model stock cars. It's just too fast right now.
And it's already getting there.
Yeah,
like,
it's
for
slowly.
a 1-year-old racetrack. It's getting there.
And
sure.
When they go back in October and it's like 40 degrees, it'll be way colder. It'll be a lot better because they get going so fast that there's no grip in the racetrack. I was upset to see how it started. What happened was all the guys got caught off guard by the cup rubber. That doesn't make sense. NASCAR runs Goodyears. Cars Tour runs Hoosiers. The rubber compounds are different. Not just different because it's a different tire compound. The construction is completely different because it's a different company. We've seen this for years when ARCA would run a track and they ran different tires. Does ARCA still run different tires than Cup? I cannot remember.
I thought they ran Hoosiers, but I don't pay enough attention to know.
In the wise words of Josh Berry, ARCA sucks.
Yeah.
So that obviously a different tire construction threw the guys off guard. They all kind of went down into turn one, expected it to stick. It didn't. That happens. Once that happened,
I do feel like they could have done a better job because it clearly wasn't sticking in the first lap. I've praised her a lot on this show, but Lainey Bice tried to wreck it through the entirety of lap 1 and then just threw it down in the corner in turn 1 on lap 2. I mean, that's a learning moment, but again, I feel like they could have done a better job. Unfortunately, it took out a bunch of race cars.
Yeah, it did. But I mean, once that, and then Caden Honeycutt did the same thing.
Yeah.
Once that got cleaned up, the track started to clean off. Fantastic race. Saw guys sliding around. Something you don't see on Sundays. So it was really refreshing. And I assume all the Fox people or all the new fans watching on Fox enjoyed. I saw they had, what was it? They averaged 262,000 viewers and they peaked at like somewhere in the 300,000s.
I believe, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Because I will say that number does not include anybody who watched on Flow. If anybody had a question about that, Flow keeps their own numbers. It was simulcast to the two services, platforms.
Yeah.
But the numbers were not combined. So Flow doesn't really give out numbers, but it's fair to say that there are plenty of people who, especially older people, who have Flow and didn't know to look on Fox for the race and watched on Flow.
Yeah.
So awesome to see that. I think somewhere like Langley could do it. I think somewhere like South Boston could do it.
South Boston would be great.
South Boston could absolutely do it, actually, and it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think part of me, I think Tri-County could do it. because the lighting's good enough.
Hmm.
And there's enough room. It's an open enough area they could set up production equipment.
Yeah.
So I think those 3 tracks, they need to.
Is it less feasible though if see, I guess theoretically if they wanted to just play the Flow broadcast on Fox, that would open up a lot more opportunities. I don't know if they would want to do that. Honestly, though, the video quality from a Flow broadcast to a Fox Sports broadcast is really not that different. In fact, a lot of times Flow looks better. That's because Fox is using archaic, outdated technology they went HD in like 2007 and we're still basically rocking the same equipment. That's why the NASCAR Prime broadcast looks so good, is because they're actually like new.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to make sure production doesn't go down. But yeah. I think those 3 tracks, Tri-County, Langley, South Boston, if you can get that product in front of the people, that is, I hate to say it, that's light years better than what we saw at North Wilkesboro. We're about to talk about Langley. South Boston and Tri-County are 2 of, in my opinion, the best short tracks in the country. I don't think, let's be realistic, they're not going to get their whole 14 race schedule on Fox, in large part because of facility issues. There's no way you're bringing a Fox production crew out to effing Caraway in BFE, North Carolina. It's not going to work. Does Caraway put on a great race? Sure. It's not going to work for a TV broadcast, but if you can get a couple races a year, that's money. And 2 Wilkesboro, Tri-County, South Boston, and Langley, that's 5. That'd be fantastic.
I mean, if they wanted to try and find the next one just to make it simple, keep it simple and easy, and then maybe regroup and go next year, try the championship finale at Wilkesboro. Again, like Chuck said, it'll probably be a better race, at least more entertaining.
Well, the only issue with that is they'd have to include the smart mods.
Yeah. Maybe that could help. Maybe that could help sell it though. I don't know.
We know how that'll go.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so maybe don't do that.
No offense to the mods. I am more of a mod defender than most, especially in the late model stock car community. But holy shit, do they know how to put on a stinker at Wilkesboro?
I just know when it's,
I mean, wreck every single car.
Yeah, I just know when it's 10:30 and there's 50 laps left in the modified race and the Cars Tour late model stock race is still not started, and I'm like,
I don't think that race ended till like 1:30.
It was so late. It's so fucking cold.
Dude, yeah. That's why I say the winter race last year was a better race, because I shit you not, it was like 38 degrees outside.
That might be generous. Like,
and I was walking around without a hoodie because
you're insane.
As we all know, Chuck never brings a hoodie to the racetrack and then goes, I'm cold.
He didn't bring a hoodie to Indy. Hang on really quick. I got to shit on Chuck real quick. 3 days before he left, or 2 days, he was like, I'm just going to bring some shorts. I said, I would recommend jeans. And he's like, well, my foot's falling off. I don't know if I can do that. And I was like, well, just do it and figure it out. And then he shows up in jeans. Or were you wearing shorts? Anyway, whatever. He has jeans. And he goes, I didn't bring a hoodie. I was like, it's probably going to rain tomorrow and it's going to be in the 60s. So good job.
More Chuck lore. I got run over by Jake Garcia's pit box at Wilkesboro. That's why my ankle's falling off.
Yeah. But anyway, that brings us to Langley. And
first race of the year that neither one of us have gone to.
Yeah. Weird, huh? I kept thinking like,
what's your excuse, Seth?
I didn't want to.
Nothing. We just talked about my excuse.
Nothing against Langley. I just I was worn out from being in Indiana for 9 days, and I did not want to go anywhere this weekend. So that is my reasoning for not going to Langley.
All right. Well, there was a race that happened.
There was,
and a lot happened, especially at the end of the race.
Yeah.
For starters,
who was on pole, Chuck?
Matt Waltz.
Good job. Yes, Matt Waltz was on pole.
Former Langley track champion, Matt Waltz, not to be confused with anyone else with that last name.
No, and don't ask what we're even referring to. But it
I'm not
became
referring to anything.
yeah, I don't know why I even insinuated that. I'm sorry. It became very clear early on that Landon Lewis was again a freaking rocket. Well, I know we just talked about Ace and Wilkesboro. And we didn't mention this, but Landon Lewis won both those races.
He led every lap at Wilkesboro.
He led every lap at Wilkesboro, and he led a decent chunk of Ace. I don't remember exactly how much, but not the whole thing, but a decent chunk. And not ironically, these are the two races since Rodney Childers became involved in the team. And I was starting partway through this race. I was like, oh, okay. So Rodney Childers has broken the Cars Tour. That's what's happened here. And honestly, that's what it looked like for a little bit. But skip ahead a little bit. Laney Bice's car just kind of died. Again, broken axle, died, broken axle, whatever. But yeah, I gave her a little crap a minute ago, but overall, I think she's done a very good job. She finished what, third at Ace?
Fourth.
She finished fourth at Ace. Could have contended for the win theoretically if Rodney Childers had stayed home, but yeah, she just gets bit by the unlucky bug all the time. For the most part, I'm starting to really feel bad for her.
Dude. Starting to feel bad for Lee because he's fielding two cars and neither one of them can find a bit of luck.
Yeah.
Doug Barnes' luck is still stuck in that watermelon patch in Cordele, Georgia, I think.
That's better than other. No, never mind. I didn't say anything. Anyway, we get back going. We get back going, and Mini Tyrell, another guy who can't buy a break right now. I don't know what you're laughing about, Chuck, but Mini Tyrell, who can't buy a break, just like Laney Bice, has a right front tire go down while battling for second, first. I can't remember one of those three.
Battling for the lead. He got a really good jump on Landon Lewis from the outside lane on a restart. And I guess it was from when he was racing Matt Waltz for second. He had a tire go down on the ensuing restart. So
yeah,
that kind of jammed everybody up. They went three wide for a minute, and then to the back went Mini.
And shout out to Mini. He let the field go, got down to the bottom, and pitted. He didn't
bring out a yellow.
Did not intentionally bring out a yellow, and I'm gonna give him the audio.
Full.
Yeah, your microphone does better suppressing than mine, so I will stick with the slam poetry snaps. But yeah, we need to see more of that in this series. It's gotten ridiculous recently, the amount of people that do it. Obviously they get penalized, but they don't care. They keep doing it anyway. So happy for him. Well, I say they get penalized. Connor did not get penalized for it at Ace. He did
He never stopped.
He never stopped. Well, come on. He's going like 4 mile an hour, wasn't he?
Yeah, but by the time the field got by him, he was already past pit road.
Okay. Anyway, okay, that's debatable. I know
Caden
Landon
didn't get penalized.
Caden didn't get penalized. Okay.
And he should have been penalized because Dale even asked them why. Because everybody's like, oh, junior scores didn't get penalized. And he was like, well, why didn't the 8 get penalized? The 88 didn't stop.
Okay. I know Landon Huffman was irked about it. So that's all I really recalled of it. And I do remember.
So then it rained. And then after it rained, the 29 car went home.
It died.
It died.
It died.
It just kind of lost power. And then
I feel like he could have done a better job getting off the racetrack.
I think they were trying to figure out what was wrong with it. And it just kind of backed up. And then I don't know. It just, to me, it seemed like it happened pretty fast because 1 minute he was the leader and next minute.
He ran like most of a whole lap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's I guess that's a little bit different when you just lose power than when you intentionally bring caution out to go pit, lose no laps, or hopefully lose no laps if you don't get penalized.
So anyway, that put the race in the hands of, we kind of thought from there, in the hands of Connor Hall as he inherited the lead. And then out of nowhere, an army showed up behind Connor Hall, led by Chase Burrow.
Yeah. And he took the lead with, I wrote down 28 laps to go.
Yep. That part of the article is right.
Good. I'm glad
So
your
is-
article was correct, Chuck.
So is the rest of it.
You do a great job.
Thank you.
But that wasn't the end of the race. No. With about 10 laps to go, Landon Huffman and Justin Carroll. Yes. Justin Carroll got into a little bit of a pissing match. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. Carroll sort of bodied him out of the way and then got checked up by the car in front of him. And then Landon just
Ronnie Bassett did a Tokyo drift off turn 4. And
yeah.
So Carroll checked up and Landon literally told, I think Lucan talked to him. He's like, yeah, I was planning on trying to get back to him and won, but then he just ended up on my nose. And I didn't mean to spin him.
Yeah. I wasn't sure in the moment. In the moment, it looked like he got fed up and wrecked him. And then I watched a replay and I was like,
it does look like Justin just kind of checked up, trying to miss Ronnie. And either way, he got spun down the front stretch.
Yeah. The one thing about the car store is the way the rules are of if you're involved in the incident, you go to the back. It is easier to give someone the benefit of the doubt, especially a guy like Landon. Well, A, Landon's a respectful race car driver, but B, he doesn't want to go to the back when he's running 10th or 11th or whatever.
Well, he did go to the back.
I know. I'm just saying. I mean, as far as giving him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't intend to wreck a guy because he doesn't want to do that. But
yeah,
unfortunately, that did happen. They got into it again.
Carroll, basically what happened is Carroll tried to wreck him for like 4 laps and then finally got him.
Yeah, and finally got it. Sorry, I don't know why my throat's killing me, but I don't know. Did they even talk afterward? Like
nope.
That's odd. I figured there would at least
they didn't
be
have
some
a conversation at all. They asked Landon if he would have a conversation with him, and he said, "It ain't worth it. I don't race that guy ever. He'll probably start and park a truck race here again soon."
That's fair. Yeah. I guess no when it matters, no when it doesn't.
So but there was a fight.
There was a fight. One that I didn't realize was going to be one until it happened. But Connor Jones, lovely Connor Jones, who has never violated me in any way. We are on one today, and by we I mean me. But yes, who was he mad at? I can't remember.
Parker Eatman.
I'm struggling today. I'm on one, but I'm also struggling. I'm sorry, but yes, he went over and I would call that an altercation.
It was an altercation. I don't know. Everybody's mad at Connor Jones. It kind of looked like Connor said he walked over there to talk to him, and Parker grabbed him, and then stuff happened. And by stuff happened, they started throwing punches with their helmets on.
Bros, come on, that's.
I mean, heck, I wouldn't throw a full force punch either if dude still had his helmet on.
I mean, I just wouldn't start
unless you Kevin Harvick him and like right in the chest. Then you could do that.
Yeah, that could work. I don't know. Maybe we should just not fight each other. I mean, I guess I don't know.
It's a thought.
It is a thought, especially when like you're both going to look silly doing it. Like, I don't know. Whatever.
If you're going to fight like a man.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone gather around in a circle. Put them in the middle.
Well. I will say this.
That way it can be broken up as soon as it's done.
Let me
a hockey fight. Fight.
Let me say something. NASCAR has this problem too.
Yes.
If they're mad at each other and you're going to penalize them for fighting anyway, let them fight.
Yeah.
Self-policing. Guy wrecks somebody. Guy gets his shit rocked. He might not wreck him again. Motorsports needs a little bit more of self-policing because you're going to fine them anyway. Suspend them. Do whatever you want to do afterwards. Let them get it out of their system. You can stand around and watch. You can start recording it like a bunch of high school girls in the cafeteria. I don't care what you do. Let them throw punches at each other, and when they're done, separate them. And maybe they'll realize how stupid they look if the issue's not that big a deal, and they won't do it again.
I'm still of the opinion that this is a better alternative to wrecking race cars, which is the other alternative.
That too.
I mean,
every motorsport series seems to promote, don't fight off the track because that makes us look bad. But wrecking $1 million race cars is fine, I guess.
Yeah, you don't want to look like Max Verstappen out there. So just punch him in the face.
This is a Cars Tour show, Seth.
I know, but Max did the dumbest thing I've ever seen on Sunday, so I had to get it in there somewhere.
No, he didn't.
Well, the dumbest thing I've seen in a hot minute.
Gonna say there's a guy who has a lot of merchandise in your room that definitely KO'd the barrels at Homestead.
Hang on now.
I don't know why. KO'd the barrels at Homestead once.
Yeah, I know. He did do that, but like he didn't like ram into another Formula One car at speed. I feel like that's a little bit.
He did give a guy a thumbs up who wrecked under the pace laps at the Indy 500. That was pretty recent.
Yeah, that's not. You need to watch more of this channel. I went over how that's not that bad, but
I need to watch more of everything. Anyway,
you need to watch a video on this channel.
While they all wrecked and had sissy fights behind, Chase Burrow picked up his first career Cars Tour win at one of the tracks that he calls home, along with Dominion Raceway. Virginia guy, he races at Langley local now, weekly, I mean, and he put it to use. A lot of the local guys, we can talk about this. A lot of the local guys excel there. I included this in that article that I keep mentioning that had absolutely zero issues with it. Is Langley like the Cars Tour's Daytona Talladega? Is Langley the great equalizer? Because it seems like it might be. Because it's the only track we go to that the local crowd shows up and like competes heavy. Because Justin Carroll's pretty local there, and he was good.
I seem to remember Jared Fryer waxing ass at Orange County.
He's like the only one though.
Yeah.
I'm like Carroll. Matt Waltz won the pole, finished third. Chase Burrow wins the race. Riley Music was running fifth all afternoon before he got wrecked. Like the local guys are really good there. It's been 4 years now since a non-Langley local won there, because I'm going to count Connor Hall winning last year because it's his home track, and Connor won the year before, and Butterbean won the year before that. And when Butterbean won, he was in his own cars, not a Lee Pulliam car. That wins what kind of put him on the map, really. So it just kind of seems like more than other places, the locals can show up to Langley and take it to the Cars Tour guys.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, as good as the regulars did, or the Langley regulars did in this race, it did require some bad fortune to happen to several Cars Tour regulars.
Yeah.
Which obviously that's racing, but I hesitate to say anything definitive on the subject just because of that. I don't know. Fair. I mean, I think they would have probably. I mean, they probably still would have contended. Chase Briscoe or Chase Burrow was on rails at the end of that race, and we just keep digging the hole.
Well, I mean, Daytona and Talladega are equalizers, but you don't see the underdog win all the time.
That's true.
You still have the main guys always run up front, and
then you see Michael McDowell wreck himself every year.
But there is a higher likelihood you could also see the guys that typically run in the back find themselves at the front. That's kind of what I'm hitting at. It's less of a, oh my God, look at this guy. It's like, oh yeah, this guy runs here, he's going to compete. So I appreciate that about Langley Drivers Racetrack. It's always fun and exciting, and they can pull off some sick crossover moves, and sometimes they can even wreck each other for last.
That's short track racing.
That's short track.
That's just short track racing.
That's just short track racing. Shout out Chase Burrow, man. He's been so close so many times to winning one of these races, and finally gets it done at his home. I would consider his home track. Good for him. I specifically remember a race last year at Tri-County that I think Butterbean led every lap of, and he was saved by the yellow like 3 different times from Chase Burrow. So shout out Chase Burrow. It's been a long time coming, and he finally got one.
Yeah, congrats to him. Landon Lewis actually was the points leader coming into the race, correct?
He was.
But yeah, he was. And then obviously his misfortune Connor is back in the lead.
I haven't even looked at the points.
I haven't either. I wanted to ask this question now. Is Landon the favorite now? They have been ridiculously
They've been the best
fast.
car.
They have been really, really good. I mean, barring that mechanical issue, I think they were on their way to a third win in a row. I don't think
Are you sure Connor's the points leader? Where'd Connor finish?
I thought he finished like 6th.
Oh, then yeah, he's the points leader.
Okay.
Yeah, because poor Minnie, and
Minnie had a problem too.
So I don't know. I think there's still. I mean, Ronnie made up some more ground again.
Yeah.
He's slowly clicking away at it.
He's gonna need to bag a win here soon, I think, if he's gonna be serious contender.
Minnie was already 41 back. I don't see.
Yeah,
it would take a hell of a run at the end of the year. I think there's really 4 guys. Now, I'm not saying somebody can't climb their way back into the picture, but right now I'm not going to put them in order, but Landon Lewis, Connor Hall, Cade Brown, Landon Hall. Cade has been super quietly a part of this. He came into Langley 3rd in points. So it's between those 4. I think the 88 and the 29 have shown the most speed. I think the 4 has been the most consistent. Love Landon to death, but he's got to get out of his own way. Which means stop qualifying 78th and getting in incidents like he was on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I think we've just about caught up on what was a chaotic month of May for the Cars Tour and us. Can't think of anything else cool we did in May.
No, I think that pretty much sums it up.
I turned 21, so I had my
first sip of alcohol.
First sip of alcohol. Yeah.
Ever. All right. So if we don't have anything else, he's been Chuck. He's been 21-year-old footless Chuck. And I've been Seth. You have been the audience. This is Big Motor Small Blade. Be sure to subscribe if you like Cars Tour or IndyCar or
anything but NASCAR.
Pretty much. Even though we might talk about NASCAR here in a couple days because I finally have something I want to say.
He speaks.
I speak. So we'll see if I actually follow through with that or not. I flake out a lot, but anyway, subscribe if you're interested. Leave a like on this if you enjoyed. Dislike if you did. Comment below if you have something interesting or not you want to say. I don't really care. Just say anything, whatever. Engagement is engagement.
Tell us what color the sky is at your house for all I care.
Exactly. And if it's like green, then you need to get underground. But yeah. We'll see you later.
Bye, Gary.
Bye, Gary.